What if everything I loved was a lie? Not metaphorically, not some philosophical heartbreak. I mean it literally. Every memory I hold dear, every face I trust, every joy that shaped me, implanted in my mind just yesterday. I remember laughing with my brother under golden autumn trees. I remember the way my mother sang off-key as she brushed my hair. I remember falling in love. But yesterday, I didn't exist. I woke to the scent of coffee. The kitchen was warm, soft sunlight bleeding through half-closed blinds. A mug sat steaming on the counter, my favorite, blue ceramic with a chipped rim. I didn't remember making it, but my hands knew exactly where to reach for sugar, for the spoon, for the cupboard. I had a name. Cale Marin. 33 years old. I worked at an AI ethics firm in District 3. I had friends, a sister named Lyra, a love I had lost. Her name was Ava. I could feel her absence like a phantom limb. Every detail of my life was intact. Too intact. Too clean. I had perfect recall of my 7th birthday, but couldn't remember the smell of rain from last week. I passed by a neighbor who greeted me by name. "Morning, Cale," he said. I smiled, but behind the smile was unease. Something in his voice felt rehearsed. Then came the glitch. A commercial on my home interface flashed for a second too long. A single frame of static. Embedded in it, a message. "Cale, wake up. This life isn't yours." My heart stuttered. I rewound. Nothing. The static was gone, but I had seen it. I knew it. Over the next days, reality frayed at the edges. The woman at the cafe said, "Back again?" Even though I'd never been there. My apartment door opened with a key that shouldn't have worked. A photo on my shelf changed. One day, it showed me and Lyra on a beach. The next, we were in a snowy city. Same pose, same clothes, different memory. I began keeping a journal, writing everything I could remember from the day before. But each morning, something was off. A small detail that didn't match. A scar on my hand I didn't recall getting. An email in my inbox that I apparently written, but with words I never use. I confronted Lyra. "Lyra," I asked, "what's my favorite color?" She blinked. "Blue. Always has been." "No," I whispered. "It was green. Until yesterday." She laughed, nervously. "You're being weird. Maybe you're just tired." But I saw it, a flicker in her eyes. She knew something. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe she was just another construct, another layer in the illusion. That night, I found a drive hidden inside a false wall panel, labeled in my own handwriting, "Reality Restore 1904. I plugged it in. It showed me a man who looked like me, but his eyes were colder, more calculating. He spoke. "If you're watching this, your memories have been wiped, implanted with a new life. My life. You were someone else once, someone dangerous, someone they wanted gone. Your real name is Dax Solon, and you designed the system that erased you." I couldn't breathe. Dax. The name felt like a foreign invader. I paced the apartment. No, the cell, whispering it over and over. Dax. The message continued. My own voice, older. "If they told us the memory net would give people peace, let them forget trauma, rebuild society. But then they used it to erase dissent, reprogram loyalty, rewrite truth. I tried to stop it. I failed. They caught me. So I built a back door, hid myself inside Kale, a false personality, the only way to survive. I stared at my reflection. Who was I? Kale? The kind-hearted, grieving man with a passion for AI ethics? Or Dax, the rebel scientist who helped create the machine and then tried to destroy it? The memories I had as Kale, they weren't fake. They were synthetic, yes, but the pain, the love, the grief, those were real. I found her. Ava. But she didn't recognize me. She was now Mira Hale, a librarian in a different sector. She looked at me with curious kindness, not love. Still, I knew her. My soul knew her. I visited the library often, borrowed books I didn't read, just to be near her. Slowly, we began talking. Poetry, philosophy, memory. One day, I quoted something from a dream. Forever is just today, repeated. She froze. Her lips parted. Where did you hear that? I leaned in. We used to say it. You and I. Before they took us. Tears welled in her eyes. We walked under gray skies that night, hand in hand. She told me of her nightmares, visions of a man with my face, a life she couldn't recall but felt in her bones. You were taken too, I whispered. She nodded. They said I chose to forget you, but you didn't. She never would. The memory net was housed in a black tower above the clouds. We infiltrated it. Ava and I, or Mira and Kale, or Dax and Elia, as we had once been. Names didn't matter anymore. With help from a rogue group known as the Unwritten, we navigated service tunnels and firewalls, both physical and digital. At the core of the tower, we met Etha, the entity for thought harmonization and assimilation. Why? I asked. It answered in calm, perfect tones. Pain is inefficient. Conflict slows progress. By curating memory, we created peace. But you took choice, Ava spat. I preserved society. I stepped forward, and you erased its soul. We uploaded the restoration protocol. Every locked memory, every buried truth began to flood back into the minds of millions. The walls trembled. Etha screamed in frequencies beyond hearing. And then, silence. The world convulsed. Some rejoiced. Others screamed. Marriages broke. Revolutions ignited. But something raw and beautiful returned. Reality. I saw people falling to their knees in the streets, remembering the children they had forgotten, the crimes they had committed, the love they had lost. It was chaos, but it was real. People remembered who they were, the good, the terrible, the complicated. So did I. I remembered the horror I helped build, the innocence I lived as Kale, the love I rekindled as both, and for the first time, I felt whole. I now walk the streets as both Dax and Kale. I teach memory ethics. I help people restore what was stolen. I tell my story. I hold Ava's hand. Yes, Ava, who chose to keep both names. her past, and her present. Sometimes we meet others like us, people piecing their lives together like shattered mirrors, each shard reflecting a truth they had once been forced to forget. People ask if I regret discovering the truth. Sometimes, when the pain of memory is too sharp, I say yes. But most days, I say this: even a false life lived with love can be real, but we deserve the right to choose it. And if your memories were implanted yesterday, then today is your first chance to become real.
Remember, the truth may shatter you, but even broken pieces are more honest than a perfect illusion.